Hello, fellow YouTubers. This is the Imaginator. I'm here today to bring you guys and ladies my One Piece Manga Chapter 1038 review. This One Piece Manga Chapter is called Drunken Dragon Bagua. The cover page of this chapter, Judge, Reggie, and Ichiji, it seems like they actually conquered the ruined fortress that they conquered. Basically, if I am apprehending that image accurately. Um, And then at the beginning of the chapter, the citizens of the Flower Capital are resuming their celebration. And one of them, and we see like a female blimp that they set up. And also, one of them was telling them like, hey, shh, no, keep it quiet because there might be an official or somebody in authority or some random beast pirate that might be overhearing their conversation. And then you have one of them saying that the festival is reaching its conclusion, and the female citizen was telling, I believe, the children that write down your wish for the deceased ancestors. So that they can receive the message in the Japanese lanterns. Okay, now we get to the actual fun and main part of the chapter of Luffy and Kaido's fight. Kaido pretty much is drinking alcoholic beverage. I think it's sake. If I'm right about that, I'm not entirely sure. And then Luffy gets annoyed, irritated by this, and say, "Hey, take this seriously. You're drunk." And then Luffy's like, "Well, don't use that excuse as why I beat you." And then Kaido's like, "Don't be stupid. This is a sign that I acknowledge you, I accept you as a worthy opponent." And then he goes on, and when Luffy uses an armored hockey attack, Kaido successfully dodges it with relative ease, so fluently as well. And Kaido, kind of funny enough, he calls this dodging maneuver the same drunken dragon Bagua, the same name as the title of the chapter, which is pretty hysterical. And then Kai goes for another technique called Lightning Rengaku, which was so powerful that it pretty much shattered and created a hole in the ceiling on the performance floor, and pretty much the people that were at the performance floor witnessed it. And as this is happening, the battle goes on, and Kaido and Luffy continue exchanging powerful blows and using their strong techniques. And Kaido using one technique called the Dragon Devolution Gust in his dragon form, and then he was also saying to himself, "Well, I'm kind of getting bored. It took like 5 years in order to make this Onigashima place," and that he said that these guys were kind of useless, and etc. And then Luffy goes in the attack. He lands an attack, and Kaido pretty much, and Luffy goes for their like repetitive strikes attack, and Luffy's is rock gaggling, and I think Kaido's was Condell Dragon Swarm, and they actually also headbutted each other as well with Conqueror's Haki, Advanced Conqueror's Haki clash, and you see the Conqueror's Haki just oozing out of them, as they successfully make that clash, as they were exchanging headbutts, and then Luffy gets like a kick in, and then we shift to the last portion of the chapter where we have the Gorosei talking about the events that are occurring in Wano, and that there's like a certain fruit, devil fruit, that name has been unknown for centuries and centuries. And one of the, I believe, CP agents are out there in the outskirts of Wano, and they see Zunisha. And that is the end of the chapter. I thought overall the chapter was great. I love the action sequences between Luffy and Kaido. And I also like the little comedy that's been added to how you can have a serious, a serious fight, but can also has some comedical, aspects to it too, which I think was pretty cool and unique for Oda's writing. I also like that, the demonstration of Conqueror's Haki, the Advanced Conqueror's Haki, oozing and showcasing his power, how strong Luffy and Kaido are. And I thought it was hysterical that Kaido is kind of like, he's serious but still being like a drunk while actually fighting Luffy, but it actually turns out that Kaido's haki is actually getting stronger, which is pretty surprising. And let's see what else. And the Goro says dialogue, of course. Everything once you get to the five elders, and when they talk, something prominent. Sun King himself, and we have Zunisha there with his gigantic old woman presence, like walking down at the World Government ships. Those ships are like tiny, significantly tiny in comparison to Zunisha. It's not crazy. But yeah, that's it, fellow YouTubers. That is my review of One Piece Manga Chapter 1038. Please, actually like the video, comment your thoughts down below, and subscribe to my channel Imagine for more manga chapter reviews, anime discussions, and many more. With all that being said, fellow YouTubers, y'all all have a wonderful day.